Guys, it's about that time. I know I'm excited to talk about some West Virginia Mountaineer recruiting. I hope you're ready. So, we're going to get started here in about a minute, and you're going to see what I think so far of the Mountaineers and how they're doing in the recruiting. And I think they're kicking butts and taking names like just like at the meat market. Numbers next. Guys, I love that so much. Joey made that for the Thursday, but it gets me so hyped. I had to play it because I'm that excited. I am that excited about this week. So the old ball coach Neil Brown was teasing us last week. We thought maybe that's an anomaly. He's getting some 4 stars, getting kids in town. Couple guys we thought were going to come on board, jump ship, and went to Michigan State. They're up there in East Lansing. But this week, he outdid himself. He bought flowers for us and chocolates and tucked us in. And I'll tell you what, I am so thankful. I think, and if I didn't tease you with the thumbnail, I think WVU is going to be called 4-star U because they're getting to be I don't know, consistently in the mix for some talent. They are. They're in the mix. We're going to go through tonight who they have so far and how bright is the future. So let's get to some comments before we get started. We got Jackson Johnson in the house. Hey, Jackson Johnson, what's up? Flat Chesty, hey, how you doing? And, of course, our resident college football superfan and expert editor and jack of all trades, Joey Foster is in the house. So we're starting a little bit early because I just want to see you guys because I was pretty excited. Pretty excited. Now, whenever you guys, I don't know if you know this, but when you let's start with the big bang here. The big bang is getting this Brody McWhorter. Man, 2026. We'll get into 2025, but they're recruiting. They're signing a 4-star kid in a 2026. Man, Brody McWhorter. He's one of the top quarterbacks in his class, but let's talk about how big this is. Okay, when you can snag a guy early, in the process, like they did with this cat, he is, man, he's a tall drink of water, but the program is moving in the right direction. I think the rope is getting ready to be rolled up because the climb, we're just about there. Okay. Just got to win 11 games, maybe a Big 12 championship, go to a playoff. That would be the climb, wouldn't it, guys? That would be the climb. So let's talk about this Mountaineer recruit. Let's talk about Neil Brown. His staff beat out a ton of college football studs. Okay, the likes of Florida State, Georgia, Oregon, and then, of course, all the guys that are kind of hanging around those programs. But when you say those four, this kid has an arm. So there's a long time between, now and then. And, are we getting the cart ahead of the horse? I am, because I'm that excited. But I guess quarterbacks coach Tyler Allen has been texting him back and forth, building that relationship, and it's came to fruition. And he secured a quarterback of the caliber and ilk of this kid's. This kid's a stud. I just keep saying that over and over, but he is. So there's other kids in the class that, they're going to take a look at, but they have him on board. That relieves a little bit of pressure. They can kind of look other places. But I think West Virginia now, with the coaching stability, has checking those blocks for those kids. They know, okay, Jarrett Green is a top tier quarterback in the Big 12. The Big 12 has been known as a quarterback conference, with really good quarterback play. So with the Big 12 being just a good solid conference, it probably wasn't a reach for this kid to just say, hey man, I want to be a Mountaineer. So I think with this recruiting class, we complain and we bitch and moan that West Virginia isn't acknowledged as a top tier program in the Big 12. Well, I got some news for all the doubters out there, all the haters. Haters want to hate, as Taylor Swift would say, but players want to play, and the Mountaineers are going to be playing in that top tier. If not this year, brother, I can guarantee it's going to be next year. So, man. So 2026, it looks even more promising to be, or 2025 even, and 2026. It looks like 9-win seasons should be the norm with these recruits coming into Motown. Okay. We'll have to see. So there's been 13 kids commit this month, and we're going to go through a lot of these kids, but all these kids like DeAndre DeSenior, Takreek Mallory, that edge rusher, Amir Leonard Jean Charles. What a mouthful. Deuce Edwards, Sirius Stinyard. You got to be able to play ball with a name like that, okay? And then, of course, Sammy Atine. With those kids coming in, I know, West Virginia is going to be definitely in the mix. So we touched on recruiting. So where is West Virginia falling now? I mean, in the recruiting, because Rivals had us at 25 about a week ago. And then I've heard reports where we're in the 21, 22 range. I'm thinking that's where the Mountaineers fall. Okay. Last night we talked on the show with a Penn State guy. He's sticking to the Nittany Lion culture and lore. And they're overlooking the Mountaineers. But, man, I'll tell you what, because West Virginia is going to play Alabama in a couple years. You're going to need these 4 stars. Alabama's on a little bit of a downswing, I'm thinking, because good old Nick Saban hung it up, as we all know. So, so 2 of the 4-star and 15 3-star players have signed with the Mountaineers. There's two kids that I think I'm very excited to see how they mature, develop, and matriculate into the college, into the Big 12 under Neil Brown. And that's Zach Johnson and receiver Tyshawn Dews. So they're both top players in the state. So we'll see. We'll see how they do. Let's talk about an in-state kid from Fairmont. Got to make sure I have his name right because I like this kid. He is it's what college football is all about, having those guys that are in-state, make that switch, make it sign on the dotted line. Well, he didn't sign. He's coming in as a walk-on. So I think, see if I have it here. I'll have to come back. I had that kid up here. I think it's Cannon Digger. I'll just go off the top of my head here. Cannon Digger. It's from Fairmont. I mean, Fairmont State won. How many? I think they won the state championship this past year. But he's coming on. I think he had just shy of 1,000 yards. He had 10 or 12 touchdowns. And he was at the 7-on-7 event recently. And I guess he checked the block to get an earned preferred walk-on with the Mountaineers. So, I know this kid grew up watching the Mountaineers. He's probably very excited. But that is definitely a good news story because a lot of programs are poo-pooing with the NIL walk-ons. And it's good to see Neil Brown isn't doing that. I really, really am glad. So I don't know if he's going to be a receiver or a cornerback. He plays both ways. Athletic kid. I mean, but, he's had offers from California and like Morehead State and maybe Fairmont State. But to be a walk-on and play for the team that you rooted for all your life, that's a big deal. And kudos to that young man. We'll be rooting for Cannon, and hopefully he'll see some time and develop into not only a fine young man but a good college ball player. So let's get back to this McWhorter kid, guys. I mean, you got to go through the whole list of the who's who of football that recruited this kid. And they snagged him. I mean, he's rocking a little bit of a mullet, which I kind of like, and I think he wants to wear number 6, but man, what's not to like when you get 4-star players a couple times in a week? You land a couple guys. Now, let's go through some of these cats, okay? We had DeAndre DeSenior. Okay, he's a running back, and he's rated at 89 on, I think his Rivals rates him at an 89. But he committed back early June, first week of June. And then a week later, they had Ramondo Johnson commit. He's an 88, and this kid is 6'3", 250, so he's definitely a big body. I think they have him listed as an edge, but maybe he can be a linebacker, a middle linebacker. I don't know. Terrence Edwards, another commit that he was about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. Terrence Edwards is from Trinity Episcopal School in Virginia. This kid's listed at 6'1", 180. He's also rated at 88. Another kid they have is a defensive lineman, another 6'3", 250. That seems to be the standard. I don't know if they just get lazy and write that in there, but is that legitimately his height and weight? I don't know. But Taylor Brown, he's from Maryland. He signed June 12th. Guys, he's a solid 3-star with a rating of 88. Gavin Crawford, he signed back in April. He's a 3-star. He has an 87. He's an inside offensive. He's 6'3", 300. Maybe he's a guard, but I don't really know much about him. And Zay Jackson from Huntington, West Virginia, in-state guy, cornerback, solid guy. Same with Tariq Mallory. He's a receiver. He's lanky, guys. I like his length. He's 6'5", 190 pounds. Another rating of 87. A recent commit, Amir Leonard Jean Charles, okay, from Nashville. Watched some of his videos. He is thick and rugged. He's 6'4", every bit of 305. Maybe 1/4 pounder with fries shy of 310. He is a big dude. He committed on the 19th of this month. So they got a kid named Scotty Fox from Ohio, and he's a quarterback. And they landed him, and he could be pretty good. He's 6'2", 210. Not quite a pocket guy, I wouldn't say, but I think he's a jack of all trades. Maybe a little bit more of a Nico than a Garrett Green. He committed way back in I think November, October timeframe. Now this cat, man, Sirius Stinyard. Okay, they have him rated as an 87. I think that's low. I think he's better than that. He looks really good on tape. 5'11", 180. Hopefully he's that Beanie Bishop kind of guy. He committed last week. Man, what a name. Hopefully he plays as well as he's been named. Right? Montaineers, Montavin Quinsbury. Jeez, I feel like Kane and Peele where they're mispronouncing names. He's a little bit he's a wide receiver, more of a slot, 5'9", 160. He committed this week. Quisenberry, Montavin Quisenberry. Okay. Yeah, he's from Kentucky. He's from Neil Brown's old stomping grounds. So I think he just went back to his old high school and tapped the ball coach on the shoulder and said, "Hey, coach, what do you got for me?" "I got this kid named Quisenberry." "Sure, sounds good. Let's see how he plays." Now we got another cat named Mikhail Hasty from Douglas County, Georgia. Edge rusher, a lean 6'3", 230. He has a rating of an 86. As far as commitment, I wasn't tracking him at all. I didn't see him on anything, and all of a sudden he signed about 4 days ago, so beginning of the week. So out of LaSalle College in Glenside, PA, they have Chris Filippo, and Chris is a safety. And this was a surprise. This kid is 6'3", 210, and looks like a monster. Like, doesn't shy away from the chicken and rice, and knows what to throw around in the weight room. Man, another good pick, but we'll see. We'll see what he does. I can see him playing in a couple years, but not next year. So Mountaineers are recruiting in Wisconsin too. They got a kid named Jackson McCarty, and he is 6'7". No kidding, 6'7", 225. So he's going to be eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and hitting the weights, guys. Drinking milk before and after workouts. Because at 6'7", 225, he can get a little thicker, a little bit more rugged. So that's a frame to build on. Eden Buchanan, okay? This guy has some nice flow. He has the hair and mullen chops to kind of go with the attitude. So this is another huge dude. This guy has been eating the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. He's 6'8", 310. Yes, 6'8", 310. Is he a tackle? Of course he is. You better be a tackle at 6'8", 310. Man, they got him back in April. We're going through everybody, guys. Sorry, this is the recruiting roundup. We're going through all the recruits. Tyshawn Dudes. Yes, he is from West Virginia. He's from Hurricane. He is 5'10", 171 pounds. He committed back in September. Got a Florida kid here, Sammy Ateen, 5'11", 175. They picked him up last week on the 17th. This kid can play some ball, okay? He had offers with a lot of good schools, great hands. I just very excited. You can hear him. You can hear them. That whatever his number is, you're gonna sell it at the bookstore. Evan Powell, Huntington, Maryland, defensive lineman. That 6'3", 245, 250 range is what they're the sweet spot. I think they like to bring him in at, and he committed this week. Evan Powell. So a lot of action this past 2 weeks of getting recruits in and signing them. I love to see that. June is the new, I think it's the hot spot for recruiting. It's the new, that's the action is in June. Thomas Barr from Haverford, PA. This guy, big dude, 6'3", 290. And he signed back in April. I don't know much about this cat, but hey, welcome aboard. Elgin Sessions, okay? Another guy that signed recently, Elgin Sessions. He's from South Carolina, 5'11", 175. Really fast guy. Love to see some more tape on him. These 7-on-7 that they're doing these past couple weeks in Morgantown, boy, that's fun to watch. Wish I lived in Morgantown so I could actually go watch it, but I think it's closed to the public. But what a lot of fun this time of year is. And guess what? We're at 71 days. 71 days and wake up until the Mountaineers take on a team they haven't played in 30 years, 29 years in waiting. Penn State. Guys, I'm so excited. Tim says, I can't wait until football starts. Yes, I can't wait either, Tim. Man, I'm telling you, Jackson Johnson is killing it. Guys, support his channel, the Jacksonian. He's here every week, behind the scenes, pushing the buttons, kissing babies, taking names, and the Mountaineers are kicking ass and taking numbers. Just like if they had one of those tickets at the deli. You know, it's like G21. What's your order? You want to kick in the rear? The Mountaineers have it for you, Penn State. G22. Oh, okay, Albany. You're next. And that's what the Mountaineers have in store for these cats. Let's go to the comments to see what's shaking. So, Jackson Johnson, big noon kickoff. Jackson, would you like to come on for a little bit? I'll send the link out to you. But, guys, it is the season that things are ramping up. High school players are starting to work out a lot. Colleges are bringing kids in on 7-on-7s and watching it. A lot of action going on there. And it's, you know, Charleston Gazette Mail had listed today, June has become the hot month for recruiting. Just said that. That's so true. So let's talk about a kid they're in the mix for. Aiden West. So, you know, he's in the mix with Cincinnati, Virginia, Duke, Penn State, Wake Forest, Pitt, Michigan State, Virginia Tech. I'm waiting to hear. They said he was going to commit this week. I think he went with Michigan State. But if you know anything different, hit me up in the comment section, guys. I'm going to try to find that information all day today. Have not been able to find it. I'm interested to see what that kid's doing. So right now I'm looking up. 247 Sports has West Virginia's overall ranking for recruiting at 25. Guys, last year, let's go back last year. Last year, we didn't know if we wanted Neil Brown as a head coach. Right? We didn't know that. Tim, what did you think? Do you think we were going to have him as a coach at the end of next year after the Houston debacle and taking a turd on the 50-yard line against Oklahoma State? I didn't think Neil Brown would be the head coach of the Mountaineer program. But he signed an extension. He's here. We have him. And I'm glad. I'm thankful we have Neil Brown. Very grateful for that. When Turkey Day rolls around, when it comes to my turn around the table, I'm going to say, thank you, Jesus, and thankful for my kids, thankful for my wife, and I'm thankful for Neil Brown. And I'm saying that the last couple days of June, not November. I'm saying that now. Will I be singing a different tune if he lays a couple eggs? No, because he's building. It's coming. You know, it's resurgent. We're back. Mountaineers are back. No more mid-tier talk. No more Kansas might be better than West Virginia. Baloney. No. The Mountaineers. See, Kansas has been good for 18 months. Okay? West Virginia is the 15th most winningest program in college football. I'll say that again. The Mountaineers are one of the most winningest programs in the history of college football. The Hurricanes have been relevant for like a 20-year span, laid an egg for 5 years. Now, West Virginia has had their ups and downs. They had their down years. But overall, you look at Pitt, the 80s were atrocious, or late 80s. Okay, they were good in 82. 90s were 2000s, they had a couple good years. But the Mountaineers have always been consistently in that top 25. Is Alabama going to take a nosedive? I think they are. Clemson. Let me get you started. Let me talk a little shit about Clemson. Guys, 15 years ago, Clemson was bringing in less money, less revenue for their football program than Bowling Green. Right. They've been good for a couple years. So when they make the move to a big team, a big conference, it's going to be a medium-sized fish in a huge pond. Okay? It's like going from farting in the bathtub to farting in the ocean. Guys, it's going to make no splash because they're going to be irrelevant. They are. They're going to be one of those bottom tier cellar dweller teams in that conference. Look at what happened to Nebraska. Nebraska was, they're I still consider them maybe they're blue blood. Okay, Tom Osborne made that concrete, but they go to the Big Ten and they're an afterthought. Okay, and I hate to break this to Penn State fans, which I don't think any Penn State fans are going to watch this channel. And if you do, I'm going to tell you this. Penn State is still not in the top tier of the Big Ten. When's the last time they won the Big Ten? Been a while, right? They lay an egg every year against Michigan and Ohio State. And Michigan was not top tier until they won a national championship last year. They were sniffing at Ohio State. Let's see what some of the friends on our comment section say. So Jackson Johnson, I don't know who will be picking for WVU Penn State, but I know I'm going to be pulling for the Mountaineers. Yes, pretty much that's my thought. That's I think that on the exact same lines as Jackson Johnson. 783 all-time wins. Yes, sir. Mountaineers have 783 all-time. Okay, I'm going to be honest. It's going to hurt the Mountaineers this year. Their schedule is tough. Yeah, I agree. Putting Pitt and Penn State on looks good on paper, but once it comes to trying to get wins and bowl eligible, it makes it a hell of a lot harder. So I think the bottom is 7 wins. And the ceiling is 10 wins. I agree, Tim. All right. Let's see what Tim says here. Oh, Tim's okay. Jackson Johnson, November slate is easier than September and October slate. Yeah, we're going in guns blazing. But you look at some of these other teams, and they have a murderer's row at the end of the season when you're going to be dealing with injury and et cetera. But the Mountaineers have not dodged a bullet playing Kansas early in the season because Jalen Daniels tends to get the boo-boo injury bug. And if you played Kansas later in the season when he's bunged up, it'd be a lot easier to beat those Kansas Jayhawks that I was talking smack on. The 18-month miracles, the Kansas Jayhawks. Yes. So, you're exactly right, Johnson. So, guys, I love being on the show with you and talking a little bit of college football. You can join me here every Friday. Joey and I are going to be on here on Thursdays. And we're going to be talking Mountaineer madness. And it's going to be madness coming up because guess what? Schedule's made. Uniforms are on hangers. I saw that video. Mountaineer uniforms are on the hangers with their names. They're getting ready to tape up those hands, put the gloves on, put the helmet on, take some reps, drink some Gatorade, and play some football. And Mountaineer fans are getting ready to eat pepperoni rolls, drink beer, and cheer on the Mountaineers. So, I'm going to say good night to you. Have a great weekend, and we will see you very, very soon.